exciting day. We have saved the best for last. We are talking about powertrain solutions for future transportation to wrap out our day on the logistics of mobility. I am so pleased to give a warm final welcome to the main stage to the Vice President, Product Management, Commercial Vehicle and Off-Road at Bosch, Jürgen Häusser.
All right. Hi. Good evening. My name is Jürgen Häusser from Bosch, and I have the pleasure for the last keynote today, Powertrain Solutions for Future Transportation. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, I want to show you our Bosch approach how to reach the CO2 targets. The mega trends, I'm quite sure you all know them very well. Sustainability, globalization, growing population, and urbanization. So how are these mega trends affecting our commercial vehicle and off-road business? In regards to sustainability, the decarbonization has pushed us to develop future technologies. So that was a very strong topic for us. The globalization and the growing transport demand pushes the industry for higher logistic efficiency. Growing population requires a higher demand for construction and for infrastructure. The growing e-commerce leads to an increase in the transport segment. Urbanization influences the deliveries in these areas. Now, let's look to the freight transportation and the growth in that segment. Mobility and trade in goods are fundamental human needs that continue to grow. So you see here in that graph in the middle, there is a huge growth. It shows the years 2015 to 2050, with a compound annual growth rate of roughly 2.4%. What does that mean? So it's growing each year by 2.4%. The colors basically indicate the different sectors of the transport. So it starts from top. It's the aviation, it's the sea and the waterway, it's the regional transport, and the urban transportation. This development holds growth opportunities for all providers of mobility solutions. How do we achieve CO2 neutral mobility? We are seeing in the future a diversification and complementation of drive solutions for different use cases. At Bosch, we work with scenarios. You see that on the left side, the two bars. I'm showing here a conservative planning scenario and a progressive planning scenario. Again, we have different color codes used. The technologies, what we believe are all needed for a CO2 neutral mobility are the fuel cell electric vehicle. So this is the top one. We have the battery electric vehicles, the green color. We have the H2 engine, the gray color. We have natural gas, and as well we have the diesel engine, very dominant still, also with its hybrid drives. Now let's look to the middle graph, very decisive. So how do we come to a CO2 neutral mobility? On the x-axis, you see the daily mileage, the different use cases, the different trucks are going. You see on the y-axis, the requirements, the fulfillment in percent. And of course, you see already with the colors, it's predominant to look in each and every use case to find the optimum. And we believe, from our point of view, that the battery electric truck, of course, for urban and regional distribution, that's the zone where those vehicles find its home. Even it goes to line haul, to regional haul, where it's the best and efficient way to transport goods. On the other side, for the long-haul business, we see that there are options to go with. And we have today, of course, internal combustion engine. What needs to change is the renewable source for that. We need e-fuels for that. The new technologies, what Bosch is developing, are the H2 fuel cell system, the H2 engine, and of course, what I mentioned before, we have the combustion engines. And now you see always the end user has to look what is the range of that vehicle to go and the payload. And this is the decisive point to look for the final choice. So the different requirements from the diverse use cases will make the choice to the best TCO. The very crucial point is, of course, we need to have the availability of electricity. For the battery electric trucks, we need green hydrogen, and we need synthetic liquid fuels produced from renewable energies. Without that, all that is not feasible. So again, we at Bosch, we have the solutions. The industry is not the blocking point. The technologies are all developed. And we have here now options to offer to the market. Now, in the next 3 slides, I want to show what technologies we have in development. I start off with the battery electric powertrain. The battery electric vehicles offer high efficiencies and local zero emission. This is certainly a key technology for many applications, especially in urban and in suburban areas. Bosch offers all stages in the value chain. Basically, you look it up in the different pictures we have on the bottom of the slide. We have our own silicon carbide semiconductors. This plays a major role how to come to very efficient solutions. And of course, we have the full portfolio from the different components, from vehicle control units, we have the e-motors, we have the inverters, the DC-DC converters. So all that is available, is in development from us. We also have subsystems, the so-called e-axle, which are today ready in certain applications and developed for those cases for the next years. In total, we can say this is a solution where we have all use cases we can support, and we have, in addition, system integration with our software know-how, what we can bring in. Let's come to the fuel cell system. So this is, of course, a new technology, what we have already in a very mature level. Sure, you heard about our commitment and that these trucks are already on the road. So we have our first generation already on the road. The big volumes will come next year. The fuel cell system consists of the fuel cell stack, as well as the subsystems for hydrogen and air supplies, the cooling circuit, and the current supply. The fuel cell stack produces the electricity from the chemical reaction between the continuously fed hydrogen and oxygen. The only products of the reactions are water, electricity, and heat. So again, we offer here a complete, comprehensive portfolio from single components, the stack with the scalable output, and a fully integrated system. This is the so-called fuel cell power module, FCPM. We have, you see this on this small illustrated picture on the bottom right side, also the system integration scope together with the supply system we as well develop. Now, let's come to the hydrogen engine. The hydrogen engine is a development from Bosch where we go into the fuel injection equipment development and ignition system. So you see on the bottom left side, the fuel injection equipment we are developing. We have here two technologies. It's a low pressure direct injection system and a port fuel injection system. So we have both types available and in development. We have started platform development as well as customer projects with first SOPs 2023. What you see on the bottom right are components for the fuel supply system. This is, of course, a common technology we need as well for the fuel cell engine. Now, I would already come to my conclusion and the last slide to sum up what I have mentioned before. So I really hope that I have been able to explain the necessity to the different technology openness for the future powertrains. So this is the key topic. We need to have the technology openness to achieve the CO2 targets. Relying just on one future energy source brings us at risk. To achieve the CO2 targets, the CO2 neutral transportation. The powertrain in commercial vehicle can become clean and climate neutral with the use of renewable energies and renewable and CO2 reduced fuels. The climate target can be reached. But, of course, I've mentioned that before, this requires simultaneous expansion of the charging infrastructure. It's not available for the trucks today, and the promotion of H2 production as well as the infrastructure. In the end, the decisive factor for our climate is that every vehicle, regardless whether it's a new one or it's an existing one, is powered by energy from renewable sources. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for that exciting look at powertrain solutions. That was a delight. You are free to leave. Guys, thank you for being such a lovely audience here on the main stage. We are kicking off tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Frank Appel, and he is going to be dedicating half of his keynote, a full 15 minutes, to taking audience questions. So I encourage you to come back, come with a question, and maybe you'll get to ask it yourself. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good night.